And let's go. This should be a lot better now that you have time to answer. These are also randomized, so they're going to be in different order than they were previously. Good luck, everybody. What is true about shh? And Umair, you're very welcome. Thanks for your patience, everybody. And if you need the Kahoot ID, it is at the very bottom of most of these screens if you need to peek at that and use it. All right. SSH indeed is an application layer service. And at layer 4, it uses TCP. And the well-known port for SSH is port 22. But it is an application layer service. So good job on that. Let's take a look at the podium. At the top, we have Smart Finch. Nice work, Smart Finch. Let's take a look at our next question. Here you go. All right. My confidence has been restored now that you have access to answering questions without it timing you out. So a DNS query, here's how I would handle something like this. I would just say, well, how, in the big picture, how is this going to work? This is a DNS query that's going from the PC to the server. So the destination address would be the IP address of the server. The source address would be the IP address of the PC. And then every time it crosses a router, the layer 2 address is going to change. And it said, what is true regarding the following? And let me just get rid of that graphic for a moment. The layer 4 protocol is UDP. That's true. That's what DNS uses for a query. And the destination port is the well-known port for DNS, which is port 53. So the source address wouldn't be layer 2 source address, or PC2's the PC source address. And it wouldn't be the switch's source layer 2 address. All right, onward and upward. And at the top of the heap, we have Power Ostrich. Way to stick your neck out there. All right, here we go. Next question is this. It's a ping from the PC to the server. What's going on at point C, as in cat? And for those who are asking, how do I join this live exam? You can just go to www.kahoot.it. The link is at the bottom. Or you can bring up the Kahoot app and iOS or Android. And then the game pin is at the very bottom of the screen, which is 601224. That's how you join. All right. Boy, wow, you guys nailed this one. Fantastic work, fantastic work. And the question was a ping. What is the next hop at point C? And the next hop, if the packet is going from the PC to the server at point C, it would be R2 would be the next hop, and the E5 interface would be used. All right, so R1 would re-encapsulate layer 2 header to forward it to the layer 2 address of R2's E5 interface. Fantastic. R2 would de-encapsulate that, look at the layer 3 destination and say, whoa, I'm directly connected to that network. And then it would re-encapsulate at layer 2 to forward it onto the server. If it didn't have the server layer 2 address, what would it do? The answer is ARP. It would use address resolution protocol to get there. Wow, great job. 87. Nailed it. Woo. Now we're cooking with gas. And Power Ostrich is still on top. Way to go. Here is the next question. Good luck, everybody. And Constantine is asking, do I earn more points for answering correctly faster? And the answer is yes. Correct answers give you points, and the faster you answer them correctly is even more points. So keep up the good work. All right. The PC is a DHCP client. What is true regarding DHCP between R1 and the server? DHCP uses UDP, and DHCP relay is being used on R1. So the play-by-play would be, if I grab a pen, this client is acting as a DHCP client. We have DHCP helper, IP helper, enabled right here. And then R1's taking that DHCP request, which would be a discover, and it would wrap it up and unicast it up to the server. At which point the server would say, where did this come from? Also identifying what network that interface is on. Pull from the correct IP address from the pool, make an offer, and then R1 would relay that offer. So that'd be the offer coming back. So what is true? DHCP uses UDP. That's definitely true. And what was the other answer that we were looking for? Let's take a look. And the other answer was, oh yeah, it's UDP and DHCP relay is in use. Okay. I wanted to answer a question I saw in the chats. Let me go ahead and bring up the full screen. It was about DNS from the previous question. I just saw a flurry of questions and comments about, oh yeah, DNS sometimes uses TCP. So I've been working with networking since 1980. I was a technician in 1985, that's when I started. And then I became a networking person in the late 80s with Novell and on Token Ring, and then on to Microsoft and Cisco and so forth. From a client perspective, a DNS request coming from a client, I've never, ever, not once, seen a DNS request, a query from a client use TCP. Now, if you have a couple of DNS servers and they're doing a zone transfer, then we can talk about TCP. But for a DNS request, UDP, and what's the third one? UDP, every time. And the well-known port for DNS, for a DNS query, is UDP port 53. All right, just wanted to clear that up. I guess somebody could write a protocol that would use TCP, but then you have to write a DNS server that would use it as well. So great job on this one, 98. Nailed it. That's fantastic. And let's take a look at the next question. Question 5 of 12. Good Good luck, everyone. And on these topology ones, I added more time on the clock. So it's 90 seconds when you have to think about it, process it, and the topology never changes. All right, traffic from the PC to the server. How many times will a unique layer 2 address, destination address, be included? Well, let's take a look. I showed media. Let me bring out my pen. And so we're going to start here. And we're going to end here. END. All right. So I would say that regarding unique layer 2 destination addresses, the PC, when it first does the encapsulation, if it's a traffic, it doesn't say what kind of traffic, it could be TCP or UDP, whatever. But at layer 3, it'll have the source IP address of the PC, the destination address of the server. That's at layer 3. And at layer 2, which is what the question is about, the PC is going to put the layer 2 address of its default gateway. So there's 1 as PC adds a unique layer 2 header. And if the PC doesn't know the layer 2 address of its default gateway, it'll simply ARP for it and put it in the ARP cache. Great, so that's 1. Now, R1 makes a routing decision and says, oh, I need to get to whatever this network is. Based on its routing table, it's going to go ahead and send it over to R2. But it's going to forward it at layer 2 to the layer 2 address of R2, which is E5. So that would be another encapsulation with another unique layer 2 destination address. Then when R2 gets that, it would de-encapsulate the packet, look at it and say, whoa, I need to send this to, let's call this street 10.1.2.0/24. This is host 100. So it says, oh, I needed to forward it to 10.1.2.100. And then it says, oh, whoa, I'm directly connected. So what it would do, it would send it at layer 2. It would forward it out E6, and it would use the destination layer 2 address of the server, which would be our third time. So in this question, how many times will a unique layer 2 destination address be included? It would be 1 here, 1 for here, and 1 for here, which would be a total of 3. All right, let's go ahead and continue this great discussion. And here is our next question. We're halfway done. Good luck, everybody. Which of the following have or are their own layer 4 protocols? UDP certainly is layer 4. TCP is certainly layer 4. OSPF has its own layer 4 protocol. I think I've mentioned that a couple times in our quizzes. And it is protocol, 89. And then BGP is a routing protocol we use on the internet, and also sometimes we use it inside of our networks if we're doing really cool things like MPLS layer 3 VPNs inside our organization. But BGP is an application layer thing. It's a routing protocol, to be sure. But at layer 4, it uses TCP. It rides on top of TCP. All right, so Good job. The 3 answers got the majority of the votes, which is fantastic. And let's take a look at the next question, which is this one right here for you. Why is SSH considered to be better than Telnet? All right, it's better because it's secure and it has application layer security. At layer 4, it uses TCP, but so does Telnet. So that's not really an advantage. And it's not going to be faster than Telnet because there's encryption going on for the application layer data. All right, here we go. Also, if you have questions, I saw a few comments that asked, hey, can you share with me the tips regarding OBS or the filters or anything else? Right after this quiz, if you want to hang around, if you have a specific question about seeing something, I'm an open book. Happy to share it with you. All right, so having said that, right after the quiz, if you want to stick around for a few moments, ask questions, I'd be happy to share with you any of my settings. All right, here we go. Next question is this one, question 8 of 12. Good luck, my friends. This comment is for Tracy. Tracy, if you're having problems getting into Kahoot, what I can do is I can post this quiz as a self-paced quiz that you can do on your own at your free time. So I want you to have the practice of going through it and working through the exercises. So I will post that later. Within the next 48 hours, I will post a link for the self-contained quiz all by itself. And that way you don't have to worry about any lag or access. So happy to help. All right, by this point, we might already have a good understanding of the topology. We may just need to peek and take a look, where is point D? So if we clicked on Show Media, point D is right here between switch 2 and switch 3. If we go back to the question, it asks, we have HTTPS traffic from the PC to the server. Which of the following are true at that point in the network? Yeah, they're all true. and a lot of people got those right. Fantastic work. Appreciate you working through those. Here's question 9 of 12. I'm with you, Tracy. Tracy's saying, I hate losing when it's not my fault. I totally agree. I totally agree. Let's consider the self-paced quiz, the makeup exercise that gives you a chance to compete. So at the very end, Tracy, you look at the scores, and then you know where you could aim for. You got it, Tracy. Happy to do it. And Richard, thanks for the kind words. Happy to do it. And Jamie, spot on. We win when we get the CCNA. All right, the PC traffic going to the server at what is true at point H. Let me just take a peek and verify where point H is. Okay, right here between the switch port on the switch floor and the server itself, and R2, which is the router next to that network segment, learn the physical address of the server dynamically. That's absolutely true with ARP, Address Resolution Protocol, and all the other answers are not true. All right, here we go. Next question, top of the podium is Glad Puffin. We are getting near to the end. Here's question 10 of 12. Oh, this is a repeat from earlier. So if you were here earlier, you've got this. Like free points, almost. All right, nailed it. And when I was putting this quiz together, I thought, I'm not going to do a whole bunch of questions like what layer is this or what layer is that, but I did throw in a couple. But I wanted to mostly apply the knowledge, regarding what layer 2 address, what layer 3 address, what layer 4 protocols are involved to help you get a better understanding of it. So, wow, this one's great. You knocked it out of the park. And I think we have just 1 or 2 more questions. Yeah, 2 more. This is the second from the end. Good luck. And point E is just between switch 3 and router 2. Wow, he did great, great. And I switched it around too. This is the server pinging the PC. And it is definitely the R1's E4 interface, which would be the next layer 2 address in the frame coming from router 2 on the right. And here's the topology. So the packet's going this way. R2 would encapsulate that with the R1 E4 layer 2 address, which he learned via ARP. All right. I think we have one final question. So here's what we'll do. We'll take this final question. We'll see who's on the podium, and everybody's a winner for moving. I heard a comment this week. It was this, or in the last 4 or 5 days, I heard a comment. It said, "You cannot steer a parked car." I thought, what a great thought. That was from Sean Cannell, who I love his YouTube videos and his training and a lot of great content on YouTube that helps me. And so I thought, how does that apply to you and me in CCNA land? And it applies to us because we have to move forward. We need to learn or study or do something. Just move to just get a little better every week and study and set a goal, is of taking the exam, or if that's what you're after, or going to the NP level or whatever level you're after, and keep it moving. Let's get moving. If you've been working on your CCNA for more than 6 months, I strongly encourage you to get it done now. Just allocate time, have some fun studying. The master playlist here on YouTube, on my channel, it's got over 110 videos now. So you can just pick and choose the ones that you want to look at, the labs and so forth, and get her done. All right, here we go. Last question, and then also I will be happy to show you anything you'd like to see afterwards, like filters or anything here in the office. If you want to stick around, we can do that as well. All right, here's the last question Glad Puffin is on top of the heap with quite a lead as well. 6 players, just hit an answer streak. That's fantastic. And here's our final question. This is from the PC to the server. Good luck. Oh, these are randomized too, so. All right, this took some thought because, like, what is used for the forwarding decision at point D? So if we look at the media here, the first question to ask is who's forwarding, and it's switch 2, and switch 2 is going to forward that frame out the port where it thinks that frame or that layer 2 address lives, which is going towards switch 3, which is then going to forward it onto R2. So it's based on the layer 2 destination address of the E5 interface on R2. Hopefully that's an answer. Yeah, the MAC address, the layer 2 address of R2's E5. And most of you got it right. Way to go. All right, let's take a look at the podium, and then I will stick around for a little bit. And if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them as well.